نبدأ آخر أيام المؤتمر.
Well, this is the last day of the conference, and we would have liked to convey to you a happy, cheerful news. However, unfortunately, we'll start with sad news. Well, we would like to pay sympathy to the whole world for the loss of Sufyan Tayyeh, one of the most important and outstanding scientists. He died as a martyr along with his family because of the bombing of the during the Israeli attacks, and he was really one of the greatest scientists in math and applied science, and he was selected as one of the 100 most prominent scientists. And in 2020, he was ranking 104 in a list with more than 3,500 names. So our sympathy to the Palestinian people and to the whole world for this great loss. Well, the story of our speaker started with the journalism. He was raised dreaming while listening to journalists and reporters in a conflicted, affected area. And among the journalists that mostly impacted him was Shireen Abu Akleh. He never saw her face. However, her voice kept on really stimulating him. And then he could achieve a BA in journalism. However, all his child dreams soon faded because of reality and because of his being different. Let us welcome our guest, Ahmad Manina, who he came to share with us a dream that he believed would come true someday. And this is how he succeeded in a newsroom in one of the Arab media where people believed that vision comes from God. Thank you for this beautiful introduction. Good morning. I wish you all the best, ladies and gentlemen, and dear colleagues. As a matter of fact, what I will be talking about is not about points of view or opinions exactly, but it's the fruit of several cumulated experiences I personally had in the last few years. And they were shared by many other colleagues in the field of media and journalism. 4 years ago, when I started and when I embarked on my journey through cameras, when people started seeing me with my real name, also on social media platforms and other media platforms. By then, there were several different opinions that shocked me. Particularly, I was shocked by editors-in-chief or people that were in charge of all publications. And I think one of the major shocks I had was about how to be able to write an article. Of course, this is a question I never thought that in the 21st century could be still asked to somebody with disability. How to write an article more than 140 years after the invention of the Braille, or with all, the new technologies. So that was one among many other questions that were asked to me by editors-in-chief. And of course, that led to several obstacles that were rather than disappointing, were really hindering my way. For instance, would I be able to work on the field and conduct interviews? So many hows. And this is what all this was out of curiosity, because throughout the experience, throughout all these years, I found out that persons with disability in the journalism field were faced by the same things that or by which other journalists are faced, just like, for instance, scarcity of resources, or, for instance, sources being reluctant to answer. However, as a matter of fact, I never really, faced any of these obstacles, whether in newsrooms or where interviews were conducted. On another note, well, whenever I see or value any efforts in the media field who are employing, or let's say acknowledging, the presence of journalists with disability. For instance, BBC was one of the most institutions which focused on this for many years. And now ARIJ, as an Arab institution, is taking this into consideration, much into consideration. For instance, in newsroom, two of the volunteers, well, I am one of the two volunteers working there, and this is one of the initiatives we really hope and wish that all persons with disabilities, whether suffering hearing or mobility impairments, we really hope that all other Arab institutions copy the example, follow the example of ARIJ. ARIJ, who has always been and is still perhaps caring or fearing to face, situations such as, for instance, to have, the suitable equipment, the suitable circumstances. Actually, such a preparation does not require so many efforts, because thanks to technology, everything has become much easier for people with impairments, such as drafting, writing, or other journalistic activities have become much easier, And this is why, when talking about readiness or the preparations or paving the way for people with disabilities, well, such steps do not cost more than perhaps $200. As for the integration of people with disability within institutions, for this purpose, of course, we do not have to make any new inventions. It's just about believing in the mission, journalistic mission of these people, and that these people are really able to convey this mission or message in different ways. This is my main message, the main message I wanted to convey at the beginning of this session. And of course, I would like to pay sympathy to all Arab people for the loss of the scientist Sufyan. Actually, let me say that people with disability who have become people with disability, who have acquired a disability recently, well, of course, are now being threatened by losing their job. Thank you so much.